Hey YouTube, how are you today? It's your girl Vivian, and I'm welcoming you to the Veterans Lounge. I am here with Miss Kay Hall, Tax Strategist, and today
Alrighty.
we're going to be talking about all things taxes. We're going to be discussing you and your taxes after we play the intro.
There's something going strong, stronger. 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 There's something going strong and stronger. There's something going strong, stronger. There's something going strong and stronger. There's something going strong, stronger. There's something going strong.
All right. I'd like to welcome everybody here that's here today with us at the Veterans Lounge and today again. We're talking about you and your taxes. And I'd like to welcome Miss Kay Hall, Tax Strategist.
Hi. Thank you, Miss Vivian, for having
You
me
are
on.
welcome. You are welcome. And today, you guys, we will be talking about all things taxes. And Miss Kay's YouTube channel, she's starting her own YouTube channel. Her her YouTube channel will be down in the description box. And I want you guys to give her a try. Hey Sheila E, how are you, sweetheart? And I welcome everyone that's coming into the chat. So today again, we're talking about you and all things taxes. Miss K, you want to introduce the people to you yourself?
Oh, yeah, of course. Hi, everybody. My name is Kay Hall. I have my own tax and accounting firm, and the name of that is Vibrant Profits Financial Services. I run a full year tax and accounting firm where I do tax preparation, tax planning, tax advisory, bookkeeping, and CFO services. I have been in the tax industry for 3 years. And I have also worked in human resources for about 16 years. So on my channel, I'm going to talk about all things HR, finance, taxes, and I'm really excited. And I'm really excited to be here with you, Vivian.
Well, I am excited because I can't wait. I can't wait to see how the great things you're going to do. I can't wait.
Well, thank
So
you.
let's get right into this
Yeah.
conversation. So let's first thing I want to ask you, what are some things that folks are going to need when they file their taxes this year?
Mhm. Okay, so this year you're gonna need, your ID, your social security card. If you have an IRS PIN, which is a PIN number that protects you from any type of identity theft, or if you had identity theft in the past, you'll need that PIN. You'll also need two letters, which are really important. So, if you are a parent and you took advantage of the advanced child tax credit that came out last year, so it was either payments of if you had a child that was over 6 years old, I believe the payments were $250 that were deposited in your account, or you received a check. Or if your child was younger, it was 300 a month. Per child that the IRS was sending out. So if you took advantage of those payments, you'll need to give your tax professional the letter, and the letter number is 6419. And it basically says the exact amount that you received for the child tax care credit. And the reason why it's so important to give your tax professional this letter or a screenshot of your payments is because if the IRS says that they've given you this amount of money in child tax credit, and if it doesn't match up on your taxes, please expect a delay or a possible audit.
Oh,
So it's
gracious.
really important that, yeah, that you have that letter. The second letter that you'll really need this tax season is letter 6475, which is in regards to the stimulus payment, aka the economic impact payment, the third one. Again, you want to make sure that you have the correct amount of what the IRS deposited in your account. If you give the incorrect information to your tax professional, expect delays or a possible audit. Another form that's really important is the 1099-G. So if you received any kind of unemployment benefits, you want to go ahead and give that form to your tax professional as well. Now, that one won't really cause any audits or delays, but it's just another form that's really important that you want to make sure that you hand over.
Is the 1099-G also the gambling one also?
Yes. Yep. It's also for gambling as well. I believe it's winnings over $1,000 that you'll get that form.
Why is it important for me to take my ID card to my tax professional?
Very good question. So the reason why is because you want to give the exact name that matches on your government documents over to your tax professional. A lot of times, a lot of people may have like a nickname that they go by, and sometimes people are just so used to going by their nickname. So if your name is William, you may be used to writing Bill on all of your documents, but your real name is William. By having your correct name, by having your tax professional to have your correct name, what will happen is if we have the incorrect name, the IRS will reject your taxes, and then your tax professional will have to do some magic behind the scenes to get it to be accepted again. So it'll just cause a delay if you don't give the proper identification or the proper name.
Now, what about social security cards or proof of social security numbers for your dependents and things of that nature? Should I bring that to you, or do you require that?
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am. So me as a tax professional, I definitely require a copy of the Social Security cards for dependents and the taxpayers. And the reason why is to also prevent identity theft, and just to make sure that I am filing with the correct Social Security number. A lot of times people feel that they know their Social Security number by heart. It's just not true. Sometimes the numbers are switched around, or maybe not given in the correct order. So you definitely want to make sure that you're giving your tax professional the most accurate information as possible. If I may say, one thing that certain taxpayers forget is, for the tax preparer, we just have to make sure that we input the information correctly, but it's up to the taxpayer to verify that all the information is correct. Because when the taxpayer signs their tax form over for e-file, you are saying to the government that this is correct information under the perjury of law. It's very serious. And if anything were to happen there, it wouldn't really be on the tax preparer or the tax professional. It would be on you as the taxpayer. So those are really good questions that you asked there, Miss Vivian.
Now, with the ID card, I know towards the end of the tax form, I know in the past I've had tax preparers say, I need your ID card, because they have to put the driver's license information on the tax form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for identity theft purposes. Yeah, just so the IRS can just make sure that you are who you say you are. I don't know if you guys had seen, there was a rumor now, or it was before, but it's gone now. But the IRS were going to start requiring face scans for you to access your tax information. Yeah, it's getting really serious out there. Yes, they want to actually scan your face to, it's actually called My ID and Me, or something like that. That the IRS has. So yeah, they're really cracking down on identity theft. And so now having the right ID card, ladies, if you're married, if you choose to take your husband's last name, make sure you go and get those documents changed as soon as possible. Because if those names don't match, when you go to e-file, you're going to get an error. Or if you mail in your taxes, you're going to have delays. You're going to get a lot of letters and correspondence from the IRS because your names don't match. I've had that happen before. Not me personally, but to one of my clients, and it delayed her refund by 3 months. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so
That's too long.
that's way too long. Well, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it usually take for you to get a refund? And is there like a payment schedule?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a really good question. So, really, the standard is 30 days. But I do want to say, if you take advantage of the earned income tax credit, that could delay your taxes by a couple of weeks because the IRS holds those certain returns. And if you're also going for any child tax credits, that could also delay you maybe a couple of weeks from getting your refund back. And I kind of wanted to talk about the different ways that you can get the money back. So you can do a check, which that's one of the slower ways, or you could do direct deposit, which is pretty fast. Usually get your money within like 2 weeks if you do direct deposit. Or you could talk to your tax professional and you can get what's called a bank product. So it's basically where a bank gives you an advance on your refund and you pay them fees for the advance. And when you do that, that's really the quickest way to get a refund, because the bank can return your money to you within like 3 days. But you just got to be careful about that because of the fees. It's a lot of fees to do this, but you could get your refund faster that way.
So, in the bank products is
Mhm.
actually in all actuality a loan. They're
Yes.
loaning you your money and
Yes.
charging you a fee to loan you your money. Now,
Yes.
suppose, because I've seen this happen in the past where
Mhm.
the person their taxes were done, but they owed money to the IRS,
Yes.
and then they were given a bank product, but the IRS kept their money. What then?
Yes. So that's definitely like a more complex tax issue, right? Probably doesn't, it does happen, but maybe, it's not as common. So what happens then is if you get a bank product knowing that you owe the IRS, or that the IRS is going to take your refund, like behind the scenes, like let's say you do have a refund, but you owe child support or some kind of IRS levy, they'll take that behind the scenes. And what will end up happening is you will end up owing the bank. And you would have reneged on your agreement. So there's different penalties that are separate from even dealing with the IRS. So I'm really glad you brought that up, because you have to be really careful dealing with bank products, um, because you're right. Yes, Vibrant Law. The IRS did do away with the facial recognition. Yeah, I did mention that they did away with that, but I'm just saying that things are getting really serious out here. That they would even consider to do facial recognition. But yes, I hope, did I answer?
You did. So the
Okay.
question is, all right, so I want to ask this question, then I'm going to go to the truth question. Okay,
Okay.
so what are some reasons that they might keep your tax refund?
Yes. So reasons would be that you have either you or your spouse may have tax liability. Now, this is a little advanced, but if you have a spouse and let's say you get married and you really didn't know what your spouse's tax situation is. And you do your taxes and you see that from your spouse owes $18,000 to the IRS. And that does happen. And they take your refund. Now, there is something that you can do with the tax. I would say you need a tax professional's help to do this. I wouldn't do this as a person just filing your taxes, but you can apply for what's called an injured spouse tax relief. Now, when you do that, the IRS processes your tax return, and then fill in the form, you send it in, and then they work with you behind the scenes for you to get your portion of your refund back. So if you, as Miss Vivian, were to expect $6,000 back, but they took it, you could file as an injured spouse, and you can get your half back, but your spouse cannot get his or her portion of the refund back. Another way that you could owe or have your refund taken away is by owing child support or other governmental fees. Let's put it that way. Other governmental fees.
Like
Yeah.
maybe what about I know in the state of South Carolina, if you owe hospital bills, they'll take your state. But will they take your federal if you owe education loans, things of that nature?
Yes, they will. Yes, if you owe any outstanding student loans, they will definitely take that away too.
Okay, all right. So the question that the truth has, is it true that the child tax credit was advanced on this tax season?
Yes. The IRS gave you exactly half of what your tax credit would be for your child. So I have a child, she's 9, so I would receive $3,000. If I took the child tax credit, I would only receive $1,500. So you get exactly half per child. Let me put that out there, per child. Every household is different. But yes, that is true. And it's not taxable. I've heard that rumor around, and there's no taxes charged on this because it is a credit.
Okay, and then the truth is the IRS says that there has been 22% raise in tax refund fraud, such as people applying for your tax refund.
Yes, that's why it's very important that you file as early as you can, but make sure you have all your documents. Like, don't rush it. File as early as you can, and then if you're not able to do so, apply for an IRS PIN. And that PIN will protect you. So in order for someone to file taxes with your social security number, they have to have your particular PIN that comes from the IRS. That's like one great way to protect yourself. And that was a really good question, the truth. That's really good.
All right. What if I owe money? What if I owe money to the IRS? Wait a minute. Okay, so Vibrant says you need to reconcile that this tax child care credit, especially if you only took, so you have to reconcile and make sure that you have your paperwork if you took half.
You want to make sure that you have that letter that I had mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, that letter 6419, because it tells you exactly how much the IRS deposited in your account. And if that amount does not match what has been deposited in your bank account, it's really important that you talk to your tax professional about that so that they can take care of it behind the scenes. There are certain things that we can do as tax preparers. So if you are missing a part of the credit, there's a way for us to get you that credit. It's just that I'm not sure how you could do that by using like a system like TurboTax or like Free File USA. I'm not sure how you could do that way, but I know as a tax professional, there's things I can do on my end to get you the rest of that credit.
Okay, so the truth says, how hard is it to get your refund back if someone stole it?
Well, it will depend on how did they steal it from you. Are you able to give a little more context to that?
Well, let's let him come up with let's let the truth come up with the rest of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. What if I'm not getting a refund? What if I
Mhm.
owe the IRS? How long do I have to pay? How long do I have before I have to pay them?
All
And
right.
can I do some kind of payment arrangements with them or
Okay. Yeah. So you have until typically it's April 15th, but this year it's April 18th to pay any taxes that you owe. There's no extension available on that. So if you owe, you got to pay directly on that day, which this year it's April 18th. Um, if you do owe the IRS, and let's say you don't have the money to pay, you can contact them um, and see if you can get on like a tax payment arrangement. They do those. If you owe, I would say if you owe anywhere between ten $10,000 on up, I would recommend that you see someone who is an enrolled agent who can help you with tax resolution. So basically, what that person would do is they would represent you before the IRS, and they would represent your situation, and they would work out a deal with the IRS. Now, I work with an enrolled agent who does tax resolution, and she's able to wipe out, like, I've seen her wipe out someone who owed, I think, $278,000. She got all the way down to $1,000.
okay,
So,
so the
yeah.
truth was talking about so if somebody filed under your name.
Hmm. Well, if that happened, I would recommend that you contact the IRS and to have them start an investigation on that. But just know you're going to go through a lot of things. There's a lot of things you have to do to prove that someone used your name and that they stole your taxes. I mean, I don't really know if you doing that on your own would probably be the best. I would reach out to an enrolled agent or a tax attorney for help on that.
Okay, Vibrant Law said they could put it in an installment plan too, the
Yep, I had
taxes.
just mentioned that. Yes,
Yeah.
we do installment
All right.
plans.
All
Mhm.
right. So, all right. Should I okay, we talked about the tax deadline and
Yeah.
what if I had to pay back taxes?
Hmm.
Okay, so this is a question. Should I be preparing my own taxes? What are the pros and cons of me preparing my own
Your own
taxes?
taxes. Yeah, good question. Honestly, if your taxes are very simple, like let's say you're single, you have a W-2, maybe you have two or three children, you don't own a business, anything like that, I would say go for it. I would definitely say before you do that, I would definitely go on the IRS website and start reading around about taxes and just knowing what certain lines actually mean to you um, in your taxes. But I would definitely say go for it. I would say if you own a business or you have capital gains and losses, meaning you do things on the stock market, you own cryptocurrency, you're a farmer, you're a priest, those type of taxes are more advanced. I wouldn't recommend that you do them on your own. The reason why is because there are certain things that you can enter on your taxes that can flag you for an audit, and you may not even realize that that's what you're doing. A lot of times people transpose numbers. They don't go back and double check their numbers and what they put in. So just having a professional, just having that second eye looking at things can really help you. In addition to that, when you have a tax professional that helps you, or someone like me who's a tax strategist, what I do is I analyze the person's tax return. I study the tax law year round. So when I'm looking at your tax return, I can look and say, oh, okay, well, Ms. Vivian went to school, so she should qualify for this credit, that credit, or maybe Ms. Vivian is a business owner. Okay, let me put in these deductions for her to lower her tax liability. There are certain techniques that a tax professional can do that an average taxpayer may not know how to do and may not have the software to do it.
I remember when I taught school, there were certain credits and deductions that we got as school teachers that because they specifically asked, are you a teacher? Did you teach in the classroom
Mm-hmm.
K through 12? All right. Ms. Hall, um, okay, so the question is, what is a good charge for tax preparation?
Good question. Honestly, I hate to say this, but it really depends on the tax preparer and the state that you're in. Um, and it really depends on who you go to. Um, where I live, tax preparation for a 1040 and a state return starts at 185. But if you live in somewhere like California, it could maybe automatically start at 300. It just really depends. If you go to an independent tax preparer, I mean, we set our own rates. So, it just really depends.
Okay, so my question to you is,
Hmm.
what if, because, okay, so for those of you who don't know, I used to do taxes at Liberty Tax. And I had a boss that was not as um above board as she should have been, the second owner.
Ethics are huge.
And what she did was, so say you came in and you did your taxes,
Hmm.
she would charge about, okay, let's just say you had a tax. She would charge the people, let's just say she charged them $750 to get their taxes done. Liberty told her, look, for the type of tax that you charge, that's too much. Because what people don't know with franchises, the franchise can go in and tell the franchisee,
Yes.
this is what our base price is for this. So stop charging them people that much. And
Hmm.
so she was charging these people exuberant amounts of charge. And
Wow.
I'm talking about parents that lived in Section 8 housing and things of that nature, low income women. So she had cheated on her taxes, number one. Number two,
Wow.
she charged them this exuberant amount of price. And then Liberty told her, you can't charge them that much. And they went in and they reversed all of those fees, which made them lower. When the people got their check back, she would go, oh my God, they didn't take out for my fee.
Oh, no.
And then she would tell them to go cash the check and bring the money back.
Yeah.
And then if they tell her, I'm not bringing the money back, she would tell them, I'm going to call your landlord, or I'm
Wow.
going to call a government agency and tell
Wow.
them you were doing hair and running an illegal business out of government
Wow.
apartments.
What? Yeah, that's thank you for telling that story because this tax year I've heard a lot of horror stories, like tax preparation horror stories, accounting horror stories. And that is definitely one. You definitely want to vet your tax professional. You want to make sure that you're dealing with an ethical person. I mean, I've heard of tax professionals taking people's tax returns and deposit it in their bank accounts, which is a no, 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 no. If you have a tax professional that says, hey, yes, you can get your refund, put it in my bank account, please run away. Take your papers
You
and
know
run.
what? Down in Georgia, down in
Run.
Augusta, Georgia, they had where all of these tax people, where a tax preparer had all of these people their
Mhm.
stimulus money in their
Yes,
account, and the people couldn't get their stimulus money back.
yes. Oh, and kind of rewinding back a little bit. I'm really sorry to do this, guys, but just rewinding a little bit when we were talking about bank products. Now, if you do get a stimulus payment, that payment's going to go directly to the bank product. And you have to make sure that you are working with a reputable tax and accounting firm to where they will reroute that money to you. So you have to be careful on that. Because I did hear about that as well, Ms. Vivian, with a lot of the stimulus payments going back to the tax professional's office or the bank products office, and then that person just poop disappears. That's one thing. I do respect my industry. I love my industry, but I definitely think it needs to be more regulated. Um, I know that when a tax professional does e-file, we have to send in our fingerprints to the IRS, and the IRS background checks us, for criminal history, for any tax problems that we have. But it doesn't mean that they continually check us. You want to make sure that you really ask your tax professional a lot of questions, even a little bit of ethical questions, and see what their response are. You're trusting them with your money, with your financial records, and how you're being represented to the IRS. So don't be afraid to ask them questions. Like, I wouldn't just hand over my documents to anybody.
Okay. So the truth says, as veterans, are there any advances or extras that they give us as veterans?
Now, as a veteran, the only thing I know of is that you are actually eligible for, if you move, like, to get a credit for moving. So, if you're asked to move to a different state, as a veteran or active duty, I know that you can get a portion back of your moving expenses and mileage. But as far as I know of, that's it.
Okay. Vibrant Lowell asks, how much do you charge?
Oh, so I specialize in small business taxes. So my prices are a little different, but for individuals, I really start at 185. And if you own a business, I start at 600, because there is a lot of work to do when you prepare a business owner's taxes. It's a lot. It's a lot. So that's how much I charge. So the work opportunity tax credit, that is really for a person who actually employs veterans. That's more of an employer tax break. That's not a individual tax break. And the only reason why I know is because I'm at the company that I work for during the day. I'm in charge of the WATI credits. So yeah, you have to have the employee fill out a form, and if you're a veteran, the company that you works for, they get like a certain percentage back for employing you as a veteran. So yeah, that's more of an employer tax credit.
Okay. Yeah, and it doesn't hurt to check. Nothing hurts to check.
Right, but
What is
if
the
you're not an
website?
employer, I would not mess with that. If you're not an employer, I wouldn't mess with it.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What is the government website that we should be going on?
Yeah, you want to go to www.irs.gov. That is the official website for the IRS. There, it's a plethora of information. It's a lot of publications. They give you information about each form there. There's a lot of stuff that you can learn there.
Okay. Is there a phone number that taxpayers can call? Is there a support line?
Yes, yes, and it's on the IRS website. You want me to pull it up? Let's see.
Yeah, let me put it in the chat.
Okay, let me get that for you really quick. It is 1-800-829-1040. That's cute. 1040 at the end. That's really cute. Did you get that? Or let me say it again.
Okay, so he says, so the truth says Texas is giving a tax credit to disabled vets on their homes up to 100%, meaning 70% off your tax bill if your bill is 70% disabled by veteran standard.
Yes. So federally.
Oh, thank you, Vibrant. That was real sweet of you. She says someone like Miss Hull would be worth hiring.
Oh, thank you, Vibrant Law. Let me tell you, I've done. Right now, I'm studying to become an enrolled agent, which is basically basically a tax master, and I'll be able to represent my clients or any client before the IRS. So I do a lot of studying, and again, I have my own tax firm. So I love my clients, and I really take the time to help them with taxes, and to help them with whatever they need. So thank you very much for that compliment, Miss Vibrant Lowell. I appreciate it.
Thank you forever, Lisa. And you guys, I thank you guys for joining us. For those of you who have just come in and joined us. And
Oh, you got it there.
we're having, again, this is a conversation with tax strategist Kay Hall. And she has her own company, and she's answering questions for us today. So again, if you have any, if you want to look at the tax website about the laws,
Mm-hmm.
there's www.irs.gov.
Yes. And
And
then I'm
if you
sorry.
want to call, I'm sorry, and if you want to call the
Mhm.
support line, the tax support line is 1-800-829-1040.
Yes. And I would even say, when you call that line, just please be prepared. Please have a lot of patience. Please expect to wait. Um, a lot of times, I when I have to call the IRS, I already know it's a 2 hour wait minimum to get on the phone. So so just be in a zen mood, have on your comfy clothes, get yourself a drink, a little snack, because you're gonna need a lot of patience to get through that line, and you may be transferred a lot. A couple of things I just wanted to kind of point out this year about the IRS is that they're understaffed, just like almost the rest of the world right now, due to the pandemic. Um, and they're overwhelmed with a lot of things. They're still dealing with stimulus payment issues, still dealing with delayed returns from 2020 and 2021. Or no, I'm sorry, for 2020. Like they're dealing with a lot right now. So when you get that
Have
person
you
on the phone,
talking
try to
about
be as nice
talking
as you
about
can.
hold on, talking about stimulus?
Yeah.
Have you heard
Sorry about
something
that.
about Biden might be trying to get us another
Yes.
stimulus?
Yes, I actually heard on the news that there could possibly be a fourth stimulus payment coming out soon. But the IRS is worried because they're already boggled down with the tax issues that are going on and the PPP loan, all that stuff, the EIDL loan, all that. And then if they throw the fourth stimulus payment on top, they're afraid they will not be able to like get it out on time. So I'm just keeping my eyes on the news to see if it's going to come out.
And Vibrant said the website for the IRS is very
Mhm.
user friendly. It really
Yes,
is.
it's very user friendly.
Y'all,
Um,
and if you want to check on your refund, that's where you go for where's my refund.
yes, yep. And then also each state has their own "Where's My Refund" site, so you can check on your state taxes as well. Because we don't want to forget about the state taxes, because the truth was just talking about how Texas is giving a tax credit to the disabled veterans, and a lot of time taxes have I'm sorry, states, individual states have their own tax credits and breaks that you can get. So I get a lot of clients from Michigan, and there's actually a Michigan homestead tax credit. So if you rent your home in Michigan, or if you own a home, you can get like a really well, it kind of depends on how much you pay, but you may be able to get back like $150 on your state taxes just because you rent or you own a home in Michigan. Um,
I
I
know here
also,
in South Carolina they have solar powers,
yeah, solar power. I was just going to mention that. Um,
um,
home and
home
home
efficiency,
improvements. I'm sorry.
home efficiency improvements.
Yes.
Like if
Hmm.
you get new windows, uh, and you weatherproof your house, get weatherproofing.
Yes. Yeah. You can actually get a percentage back. So again, that's one of the advantages of going to a tax professional, or like Vibrant Law says, actually doing the research for yourself to find those different tax breaks. It's just you have to make sure you're using a tax software that allows you to actually take advantage of them.
Right,
Not
vibrant,
all.
energy efficient appliances and
Mhm.
cars.
Yes.
I know they here, but you got it's like it's so much that in reference to the cars.
Yeah, you can get a credit on that as well. If you own a small business and you use your car, you can write off the mileage. You can actually write off a portion of the car payments to get back as a deduction to lower your tax liability. Like there's different things that you can do.
I know when I taught in DC, the young lady that did my taxes in DC, she would write off my cell phone and she would write off a portion of my car because sometime I would have to transport students back and forth
Right.
after the after school program.
Hmm.
So I would have to take them home after school program. And a lot of times we would have to use our own cell phone, to call parents.
Yeah. Another thing you could do now with the coronavirus, if you are a teacher, you can get a credit up to $250 for any cleaning supplies, masks, tissues, protective equipment that you may use for going into the classroom. So that's one that you can definitely take advantage of if you're in the education industry. Um, So that's good. Yes, some medical expenses are a write off, but you'll more than likely have to itemize your taxes. So you want to be really careful. You want to make sure that the medical expenses, I would say they would have to be over $10,000. My opinion, it could be different for other tax preparers. The reason why is because if you itemize your taxes, you don't get the standard deduction. So you want to make sure that those medical expenses are really worth it.
Right. It's always a threshold for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
They always have a threshold.
Yeah. If you have medical expenses that are like $1,000, $2,000, my professional opinion, I wouldn't even, I wouldn't even bother with it because you have to
Because
itemize
once
that
you
in your
finish
taxes
itemizing, you're not going to get that much,
much.
even with the.
Mm-mm. No. For me, that's why the standard deduction is the way to go. And if you're married filing jointly, the standard deduction I believe is 24,500. If you're single, I believe it's around 18,000 and some change. So the medical bills would really have to be very yeah, they have to be worth
Yeah,
it.
you're right, Vibrant. If you're going to itemize, get the tax
Yes.
preparation fee deducted too.
Yeah.
Also,
For any
if
accounting
you're in
service.
one of those states that had a breach for so many years, you can write off the fee for like a fee protection, like a identity
Uh,
protection. Am I right?
you
Program.
you froze up. I'm sorry.
Can you see me?
You're back now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I was saying is, am I correct that you could also, if you were in a state that had a identity theft problem,
Hmm.
you could write off like a identity theft protection program, like a LifeLock type thing.
Yeah, I would just make sure that you have, all the documentation from LifeLock to support that deduction. And just in case you're audited, I would definitely have you could do it, but I would definitely have all your documentation in a row because auditing is up
Is
with
it?
the IRS because they have to recruit that money that they gave to us somehow. They have to get it back. What way to do it is to do audits.
You better go get them people with the PPP loans.
They are. They are. But a lot of them already spent the money. No
Sharon.
comments on that.
I wish they would have gave some to me because God knows I would have used it real good.
Yeah, but sometimes God does things to protect us, right?
That's true. All
God
right,
knows more than what we know.
that is true.
Mhm.
So
That's what I tell people.
I got one more question, and
Mhm.
this is, and then we're going to kind of wrap this up. Oh,
I'm
they
not
said,
ready.
okay, so Byron Law says if you become an enrolled agent, maybe you might want to consider becoming an accountant.
I'm already an accountant, so
All right,
yeah.
so my question is extensions and
Yes.
amendments, tax
Hmm.
amendments and extensions. What's the difference?
Hmm.
And when should we be looking into or should we be looking into something like that?
Yeah. So okay. So let's tackle amendments first. So for amendments, you'll want to amend your taxes if you maybe accidentally forget to add on a W-2 or a 1099, or you notice that your tax professional did not get you a certain tax credit, or the tax credit wasn't the correct amount. You'll definitely want to go ahead and amend your taxes. And when you do that, you're basically just doing your tax return all over again. You're duplicating it, but you're adding in the different forms, or you're adding in the credit or deduction or whatever the case may be. Um, expect expect delays on that. Expect for your tax liability to maybe change. Because to be honest with you, with added in numbers, it can take you from getting a refund to owing money very
Mm.
quickly. So just expect that if you got a refund and that you have and you know that you need to amend your taxes, I would not spend that refund, because you just don't know which way the pendulum will swing once you're actually done filing your amendment. And I would recommend that you just file the amendment as soon as you know that you need to amend your taxes. Um, there's really no time limit on that, but I believe you can only go back up to 8 years with the IRS to amend any taxes. And with doing an extension, if you know that you're not ready to file your taxes, I would say that you file an extension no later than March 1st. I'm sorry, April 1st, not March 1st. I have a doctor's appointment there. That's on my mind. But anyway, you want to do April 1st to file an extension. You just want to make sure that however you're doing it through your tax professional, or if you're mailing it in, or if you're filling out a form and sending it into the IRS, that it's approved. You don't really want to do it the last minute and it doesn't get approved, because then you won't get the extension, the time extension. So even though you have a time extension to pay your taxes, whatever, if you owe taxes, it has to be paid by traditionally April 15th, but this year April 18th.
Okay, so this is my real for real last question.
Okay.
What if I just decide I'm not going to pay no taxes and I'm not going to file no taxes?
Ooh.
What the IRS going to do to me?
Oh, well, truthfully, at first, probably nothing much. But after the years go by, you'll start to get notices. They can garnish your wages. They can levy your bank accounts. They can freeze your bank
What?
account.
Hold on.
Oh, uh-huh.
I didn't file taxes. So how they
I
going to
know.
be how they going to be why they going to be garnishing my wages and stuff?
Well, how they do that is because if you don't file taxes, the IRS files taxes for you. So they assume,
Whoa. How they
yeah,
going to file taxes for me? They
they
got
can
to
do
have a
that.
W-2 and all of that. Where they get my W-2 from?
They don't need it. What they'll do is they will look at your past returns and they'll anticipate how much you've made that year. And so then you'll start getting notices from the IRS saying that you owe money. And the only way to fix that is to go back and file back taxes. That's the only way to fix it. Yeah. But
Suppose they owe me then. Are they going to give me some interest?
no. No. But they will give you back what you're owed. No.
Oh, gracious.
No.
Garnishing my
Mm-mm.
wages.
Because we have to remember, how you get a tax refund is that you overpay your tax liability, that you've given more money than what you should have. So for me and my clients, my goal is that they pay little to no taxes. I don't want to give the IRS any more than what I have to. So when I file taxes for me and my family, we end up at zero.
This is
Zero.
my question. All
Zero is
right.
the magic number.
All right. So here in
Hmm.
South Carolina, I hear a lot of people say they're claiming 9 dependents. They go to HR and they claim 9 dependents all year.
Mm.
What is that about?
Well, I mean, if they have 9 children, then or 9 dependents that they take care of, really, in order for you to do that, if they're single, they would have to be head of household. So, meaning that they pay more than 50% of the expenses for their dependents for at least 6 months out of the year. Now, you can be a dependent, like you can have a dependent child that's in college, they live in a dorm, but you are still giving them more than 50% of support. You can claim them on your taxes just as long as they are not filing taxes. Because
Okay,
you
who can
can't
I
do both.
claim as a dependent? Like, can I
Um,
claim can I claim my mama as a dependent? Hey,
yes, you
Tita
can.
and Brother Jay, and thank you, Brother Jay.
Yes, just as long as you are providing and you can provide proof to the IRS.
No, she live in her own house.
Yes, yes, you can still claim her just as long as you can provide proof to the IRS that you pay for more than 50% of her expenses. But yes, she can be claimed as a dependent. Your father, maybe stepdaughter, stepson, no cousins. Cousins are not allowed. Um, but
What if
yeah,
it's my
pretty much
boyfriend or my girlfriend?
no, no, no,
Okay, listen.
unfortunately not.
Okay, so listen.
Hmm.
So if I go to HR,
Human resources, yes.
right,
Hmm.
and it's only me,
Yes,
you know how you got to fill out what is it, the W-4?
yes,
And I claim 9 dependents all year.
yeah.
What's going to happen at tax
What's
time?
going to happen? Expect your box 2 to be very low, which is your federal taxes. Expect for that to be really, really low. So, what will end up happening is since you're not having a lot of federal taxes taken out of your wages, what will end up happening is the credits that you'll get for your dependents will offset that tax liability you would have had by not paying the correct amount in federal taxes, if that makes sense, or having a reduction in the amount that you pay of federal taxes.
What I always found is because of my money that I made,
Mhm.
I always had to pay extra. So I would claim zero,
Mhm.
single zero, and then I would tell them to take out an extra $10 or $15.
Right, because the U.S. tax system, they tax single individuals more than married. Um, yeah, than
Why?
married individuals.
Why would
Yes,
they do
why?
that?
Because you don't have that many expenses.
Yeah, I do.
Well, in the
Yeah,
eyes of
I
the
do.
IRS, I know you do, but I'm just saying, like they don't. That's why a little bit earlier in our
Look
conversation,
at
we
Bruh
were
J. Bruh J single. He got a whole house.
claim everything on there, Pastor. Claim it all. Get your
I'm
money.
just saying.
I'm just playing.
I'm just saying we ain't got no. So they tax. We getting penalized because we ain't got no kids.
Basically, or dependents. Yeah. Hmm. So you get,
Sure.
yeah, and obviously the more money you make because the U.S. tax system is pay as you go. So the more that you earn is the more that you pay. The less that you earn is the less that you pay, and it fluctuates as you fluctuate. However, if you have a tax professional, even if they don't do your taxes, even if you just have them look at your taxes and say, hey, and this is where the tax strategist part comes in, because not all people who prepare taxes know tax strategy. They know taxes, they know tax law, but they may not know the strategies that can help you to either get you more credits or get you more deductions. So that's, and I did want to point that out. That's the difference between a tax preparer and a tax strategist. As we actually analyze your taxes, we see what can we save you, or what credits you can get. Like we look at all that. So If you know a local tax strategist and you feel comfortable with that, like talk to them, say, hey, can I get a consultation? Can you look over my taxes? Is there anything I can do to lower my tax liability? Just go ahead and take that initiative. You guys have to remember that if you owe taxes, that's probably one of the largest yearly bills that you will owe, or maybe monthly bills. So just like you call your local light company and say, hey, what energy efficient things I can do to help save on my light bill, do the same thing with a tax professional. It will be worth your while if they know what they're doing. It will be worth your while.
Girl, I'm gonna have to
But
get
yeah,
with you.
that's
We're
it.
gonna have to have a little conversation when we get off of here.
Of
Cause
course.
I'm about to make this YouTube thing work for me.
Oh yes, actually, look, can we talk a little bit about YouTube and taxes?
Yes.
Okay. So what I wanted to point out there is, if you do have a YouTube channel and YouTube sends you a 1099, that does make you a independent contractor, right? So that would more than likely give you like a Schedule C business. So, don't be afraid to go to a tax professional to ask them like, hey, what things can I write off? I have a YouTube channel. If you are, like sponsoring gifts for your YouTube audience, you can write that off on your taxes. If you are traveling to do YouTube content, you can write that off on your taxes as a business owner.
How
You just
much of my internet can I write off?
It's a percentage.
What about
I
my
believe
cell
it's
phone?
30%. I believe it's 30%.
What about
Because
my cell phone? My cell
30%
phone.
as well. Yeah, you can do cell phone, you can do your internet. You can actually depreciate, which means taking value from like your laptop or your camera and getting either one lump sum credit to depreciate that computer or that camera, or you can have that credit like drip over a certain amount of years into that value is zero. That's another thing that you can do as a YouTuber. If you're buying certain software, that's called amortization. You can claim that on your taxes and get money back for the stuff that you are actually putting into your channel. Let me see.
Mileage.
Sorry.
Mileage.
Yes, you can do that as well. You just want to make sure that if you do write it off, just you have to have some kind of proof. Not that you have to prove it to me as
But the
your
video
tax
wouldn't be
strategist.
approved. The
Sorry, what?
video couldn't be approved. The
Oh
video.
yeah, but you want to have that for the IRS.
Okay.
It does, yeah. You just want to have that for the IRS because if they audit you, you want to make sure that whatever you wrote off, you can account for every single penny, and that's where bookkeeping is extremely important.
Okay, so wait a minute. So the
Keeping your
truth
records.
says, will the IRS be looking closer at YouTube and social media income? He asking for a friend.
No, because it's a everyday business. Um, just there's really kind of no difference from a YouTuber as if you were like a independent reporter. There's really no difference in that. So the IRS is not specifically looking at YouTubers saying that they're avoiding tax liability. It would be or tax evasion. It would be on an individual basis. And it really depends on how you file your taxes, what numbers you're putting in there. So that's a really good question. I hope I answered that question too.
Vibrant, are you asking write-offs from YouTube are shady or aren't shady?
Well, they're actually not. If you are running your YouTube um, channel as a business, it's not. If you have your EIN number, I mean, you don't even. Well, let me back up here. You don't really even need to be a LLC. A LLC protects you on a legal stance. If someone were to sue you, they would actually be suing your company, not me, K Hall, directly, right? But in the eyes of the IRS, I'm still, well, not my particular business because I'm a partnership with my husband. But if it was just me by myself, I would still be a sole proprietor and I really wouldn't have any tax advantages. So they just see my company, whatever money I earn through my LLC, it passes through directly to me, K Hog taxpayer, and I have to pay self-employment tax with that. And yeah, just self-employment tax with that. So yeah, but it's perfectly legal. You just want to make sure that you have your bookkeeping together. So if you are audited by the IRS, you are not scrambling to try to find the documentation because they can fine you. They can fine you if you don't have proof. I mean, it's a very serious thing, but it's something you can do. But I would just recommend that you have a tax professional behind the scenes helping you until you can figure out what to do. Oh, what's wrong?
I'm laughing at the truth. He said we got seniors making dollars on YouTube's plus getting their SSI checks too.
But you know what? Listen, as long as they claim that income and pay the correct taxes, what's really wrong with that? If they're
That's
doing what they need
hilarious.
to do, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think YouTube is a great way to supplement your income, especially what's going on days with inflation and job loss that we have here, and companies requiring that you have, vaccination. You know, you may, if vaccination is not for you, you may want to look into self employment, and maybe YouTube is the way. Not that I am. Not that I am advocating not taking the vaccine. I'm just saying, if you had to find another way to find income and you can sit comfortably in your home, why not make a YouTube channel?
Okay. And Vibrant Low, thank you, Vibrant. Vibrant says hire Miss Hall and keep it above board.
Oh,
I
thank
know
you,
that's right.
Vibrant Law. You're so sweet.
I know that's right. I know that's
Thank
right.
you.
So look, you guys, it's been an hour, and I thank you
Oh
so
wow.
much,
I
Miss
didn't
K.
even notice.
I
Thank
thank
you,
you
Martha.
so much for coming on here
Thank
and
you.
joining us today. I appreciate you for giving us these tax strategies and this advice.
Mhm.
I like to thank the folks, my everyday people, for coming and hanging out with me. I seen the truth and Vibrant Law, and let me see. I saw Pastor Jay Wilson, my YouTube husband, that's cheating on me with Heidi Snowfly. Who else we had here?
Uh-oh.
Tita Talks. Hey, Miss Tita, that's a boo. Let me see who else we had here. Vibrant. I thank you, sis, because you've been you and the truth, y'all have been really, really into this conversation. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Forever Lisa, thank you, my green sector sis. And let me see. I seen Sheila eat a quiet storm. Yes, sis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope I didn't miss nobody. Oh, Miss Celine, thank you for coming in, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and hanging with us today. And, anybody I missed, any cloud folk, people that sit up in them sky boxes, I appreciate y'all for coming over and hanging out with us today.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, GP. Oh, Miss GP. My darling. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming over. For those that have been in the skybox, I hope you guys got some information from Ms. K Hall, Tax Strategist. Her information is in the description box. She also has a channel that she's starting.
Yes.
When you think you're gonna have your first video up, Shug?
Ooh, sometime this week. Maybe you'll be a guest on my channel.
Okay, okay.
You
Hey,
too?
your
I'll
pleasure.
be
How are you,
honored.
my darling? So look, you guys, she's starting her own YouTube channel and she's gonna be talking about all things taxes. Are you gonna be talking about those scammers out there too? You're gonna be putting out some
Yes,
information about
yes.
people that scamming too?
Yes, I'm like so excited. So for me, I am a I'm a huge nerd. So I love crime stories about money, fraud, embezzlement, that type of stuff. So I'm gonna talk about that, and I'm also gonna talk about African Americans in finance and accounting, are true crime stories, with theft and stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna try to make my channel like very interesting if I can. Talk about some nerdy topics. Talk about HR. Like I said, I've been an HR manager for the past 15 years. I've worked every single position in HR. So any HR tax questions, finance questions, that's what I'll be talking about over there. Maybe a little nerdy stuff. Who knows?
And the truth says, if you need any help, Miss Hall, please, I'll help you out.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank
And
you.
Tita says she looks forward to
Appreciate it.
subscribing to you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's an honor, you guys.
Her
I don't know if you
information is going to be in the
Yeah.
description box. Her channel and everything is in the description box.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about taxes. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm extremely passionate about taxes, helping people to save money on taxes. I'm definitely not the tax professional you go to get a huge refund, but if you're looking to level up to 0, I'm the lady to talk to. That's me.
All right. I am so happy, y'all. I am so happy.
And thank you again, Miss Vivian, for having me on your channel. Truly appreciate it. It's an honor.
Anytime. I really appreciate you for coming on. You guys, okay, so for you guys that don't know, this has actually been in the making for a minute.
Mhm.
I had been told her that I wanted us to get together and do this because I think we as a people, we perish because of a lack of knowledge. And
Yes.
there is not enough of us giving each other the information that we need and telling us the truth.
Yes. Very, very true. There are so many of us who can have like our finances down pat. I mean, down pat. If you're applying for a loan, you know that you're good. You know your credit is good. You know you have your finances in line. And it hurts my heart that not more of our people are sharing this information to help us to get out of these situations. And that is why I want to make a channel, because I want to share that information. And I don't want the information to sound like overly stuffy or overly complicated, even though sometimes it is. But my job is to break that down and to help you with your financial goals. And you need strategy. You can't just throw things against the wall when it comes to finances or taxes. You got to know exactly what you're doing, and you need a plan. And that's why I'm here. So thank you again for having me.
It'll be good to get some information about HR situations because,
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of stories.
people in HR situations, man.
Oh, I have a lot of stories. Right now, the company that I work for, I am over workers' comp, general liability claims, health insurance, OSHA. I do all the reporting. So that's how I knew what the WAPT credit was. I do the W-2s. So I got a lot of those stories as well. And I think I might actually do a video about the Form W-2 and to let you guys know what each of those boxes mean, because they probably mean what you don't think they mean. And from there, you can really kind of look at your tax liability. So maybe I'll do like a little video about that soon. I'm an HR nightmare. Let me tell
Wait
you,
a minute. I didn't realize that workman's comp came under HR.
Yeah. Yep. It goes under the safety umbrella. Yeah. So I'm in charge of that. So I take care of complex workers' comp claims. I have
Are you that person that be out there spying on people that said they broke their neck?
No, that's an insurance company, but I work with the insurance company to investigate workers' comp claims. And man, I got some stories, some scam, but obviously I can't tell real places, real people. But I can kind of maybe share some stories with you. I also deal with property damage claims, theft, all kinds of stuff. So,
good gracious.
I know.
Oh my
Yep.
God. Workman comp will no longer let us claim COVID.
Yeah, it was something that they uh, never began with personally because it is it's a virus. So anyway, we won't go into all that.
Okay. So you guys, I thank you guys. I appreciate you, Kay, for coming over.
Well, thank you. It's been fun. It's been really
I
fun.
appreciate you, and I appreciate you guys for being here with us. And Tita, thank you so much for the super sticker, sweetheart. Thank you. I
Yes, thank
appreciate you,
you.
sweetie. Um, you guys, I appreciate Miss K because she didn't have to come and do this with us, but she did, and so I had fun doing this. I look forward to seeing what you
Too.
have to bring forward on your channel because I know it's going to be great,
Thank you.
and I look forward to working more with you.
Yes,
And if you
yes.
guys want to get in contact with her, her channel will be down in the box, the description box. And we'll also be able to on her once you go to her channel page, you'll also be able to find her email. Your email will be there and everything too, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just getting things all set up. So
All right, you guys, and that is it. As my mama always says, live, love, and laugh. And as my daddy always says, Lord, make us a blessing so we can be a blessing. And I truly hope that Miss K Hall and myself were a blessing to you guys today. I hope you guys
yeah, I
got
hope
some
so.
information. Hey, Vibrant, and the truth. Y'all show was a blessing me, and so was Tita and Pastor and GP and everybody that came over to visit with us today. We appreciate each and every one of you. Sheila E, Forever Lisa, all of you. Celine, I appreciate each and every one of you who have come into the chat today. And y'all, I look forward to us vibing again. I look forward to
Yes.
it, vibing again. All right. You got any last words?
No. Thank you for having me, and I hope that I was a blessing to you guys. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. Miss Vivian and I will come by and answer.
Well, all right. Y'all heard that.
And thank you again.
Thank y'all. I appreciate you. And y'all, we out. Stay up here, Miss K.
Okay.
All right. Thank y'all, and we out.